Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home. Precious Lord, you're the one that I build my life on. You're my rock, you're my hope, you're my song. You picked me up and made me strong when my way went it was wrong. Here's my hand, precious Lord, will lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, here I come, here I come. Take my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Thank you.
So on Zoom, can you all hear me? Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. So many of you, if you think back, you might remember during the early days of the pandemic when we were all stuck at home. Do you remember that? We were stuck at home. We couldn't go anywhere. A lot of people started some hobbies. And it was great to see people baking bread and all kinds of stuff and figuring out how to do it on their own. It's very exciting. One of the things, though, is that sometimes when you're doing it on your own, maybe you don't know exactly what you're doing, and it might take a couple of tries to figure it out. There were some people who were doing fermenting, and that's kind of complicated. And I was hearing about someone who was trying to make sauerkraut. So apparently sauerkraut you have to ferment for 5 or 6 weeks. Does anybody know that? Anybody know about fermenting?
Yep.
So a lot of people don't know about that, right? And so there's one person, they put it in a glass jar, and at some point they put it in the refrigerator, and do you know what happened? You knew that. Okay, I didn't know that. I would have put it in the refrigerator not knowing that. So sometimes you're doing it yourself and you don't know exactly what you're doing. When Lorna and our kids were in New Jersey, we had a neighbor who deep fried a turkey. Oh, you all know where this is going. He didn't know where it was going. So he had a big, big pot of boiling oil, and he lowered a turkey into the boiling oil. And he missed that day in high school science class, where you learn that if you put something in liquid, the liquid is displaced and overflows. So oil, boiling oil, overflowed out of this pot. And that sounds bad, right? But also, there was a flame, right? A fire underneath the pot, which caught the oil. He was in front of his garage, was burned to the ground. And one other detail, he had his propane tank sitting in the back of the garage. So Lorna and I were a block away, and we could feel the earth move when that propane tank, and luckily nobody was severely hurt, but his garage was burned to the ground. There's all sorts of things in your home that could explode in various ways. And sometimes we're doing things on our own, we're learning something, and we don't really know exactly the power that things have. Life itself is a series of unexpected events, storms, pandemics. And sometimes in life we think things aren't going the way we expected them, or it's not staying the same as it always has been, and things can feel like they're coming apart. But the thing is that nothing is permanent, right? All is grass, as the prophet says, also the psalmist. But things ending, things dying, is a part of renewal. The life is a cycle of dying and rebirth, as Elton John tells us. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was accused of rocking the boat, disturbing the peace, causing problems. People were saying that Dr. King was making things worse. So at one point he was in jail, arrested after a protest, and some local clergy wrote a letter, a public letter, saying this has to stop, these people are making things worse and they're disturbing the peace. And we've been reading his response the last couple of years. I don't know how many years ago it was that the Sunday school kids started reading his speech from the Mall on Washington in August of 1963. But then something about 2021 made me think that we should start reading his letter from a Birmingham jail. It happens to be in your bulletin, the excerpts. And if you turn to page 18, I'll just read a small portion of that letter that we're going to read later. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. I'd hoped that the white moderate would understand that the present tension in the South is necessary. It is a necessary phase of the transition from an obnoxious negative peace in which protesters, African American protesters, passively accept his unjust plight, to a substantive and positive peace in which all will respect the dignity and worth of human personality. Actually, we who engage in nonviolent direct action are not the creators of tension. We merely bring to the surface the hidden tension that is already alive. We bring it out in the open, where it can be seen and dealt with. In your statement writing to the clergy, you assert that our actions, even though peaceful, must be condemned because they precipitate violence. But is this a logical assertion? Isn't this like condemning a robbed man because his possession of money precipitated the evil act of robbery? Isn't this like condemning Jesus because his never-ceasing devotion to God's will precipitated the evil act of crucifixion? Society must protect the robbed, and punish the robber. And then on the next column, second to the last paragraph, just skipping along, I have been so greatly disappointed with the white church and its leadership. Of course, there are some notable exceptions. I am not unmindful of the fact that each of you has taken some significant stands on this issue. The last paragraph on 18. But despite these notable exceptions, I must honestly reiterate that I have been disappointed with the church. I have watched white churchmen stand on the sideline and mouth pious irrelevancies and sanctimonious trivialities in the midst of a mighty struggle to rid our nation of racial and economic injustice. I've heard many ministers say these are social issues with which the gospel has no real concern. And I've watched many churches commit themselves to a completely otherworldly religion which makes a strange, unbiblical distinction between body and soul, between the sacred and the secular. I have traveled the length and breadth of southern states. I have looked at the South's beautiful churches with their lofty spires pointing heavenward. Over and over, I have found myself asking, what kind of people worship here? So if you know, of course, a lot of it is documented on film, right? The way in which people responded to protests, people just wanting to go into a courthouse to register to vote. The police would start rounding people up, sometimes brutally, and there were people saying, well, they shouldn't do that because they're creating a scene, rather than saying, how can people be deprived of their right to go forth and to make a statement and to register to vote and whatever else they wanted to protest for. Sometimes you need to rock the boat. Sometimes people who are comfortable need to be awakened to the suffering of others. Dr. King, in this letter, elsewhere in this letter, it's a beautiful letter, you should read the entire thing sometime. We just have these excerpts for later today. At one point in this letter, he quotes St. Augustine. And he wrote this in a jail cell when he wasn't allowed books, he wasn't allowed paper and pen. He had to sneak things in and try to write things on scraps of paper. And he's quoting St. Augustine and all other kinds of people just from memory. From St. Augustine, he quotes, an unjust law is no law at all. Sometimes we need to be awakened to injustice. Sometimes the truth can hurt. Sometimes the truth can create disruption, but it's still the truth. When we look back at these people who fought and marched and protested, they gave us things like the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment and the 15th Amendment. Women protested to get the right to vote, the 19th Amendment. These people were responsible for the democracy we have today because of their efforts. I'm reminded of Langston Hughes's poem, Harlem, in which he talks about a dream deferred. What happens when a dream is deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or does it explode? There's a disruption that happens sometimes if you're seeking justice. And all this is kind of a reminder that as we're here focused on our faith, as we're focused on our spirituality, as we're focused on our relationship with God, we may want that to be settled and peaceful and quiet, and it should be at some points. But peace is more than simply peace and quiet. As Dr. King talks about a negative peace and a positive peace. Spirituality can create a crisis of the soul, a dark night of the soul. We read about Jacob in a dream that he had, where he saw angels coming up and down from heaven, and another time where in the dark someone sets upon him and wrestles with him. That can be a part of our faith, a part of our experience of faith. Jesus today talks about wineskins. Do you use wineskins? Make sure you don't put new wine in old wineskins, because if you do, it'll burst. So make that as a note the next time you're pouring wine into the wineskins. Make sure the new wine goes in the new wineskins. Also, in our reading today, Jesus talks about, or the gospel writer talks about, someone who wanted to get to Jesus and couldn't get in because of the crowd. They tore the roof off of the home and climbed down. They lowered the man down on his mat because they couldn't get next to Jesus. I kind of think of that story, Jesus looking up as the roof is being torn off and someone being lowered down. Wouldn't he just scold somebody for destroying the roof? No, he says, look at the faith of these people who want their friend to come to me, to be healed. So wineskins bursting, roofs being torn off, these are things that can be disruptive and seem destructive. But there is disruption which sometimes seems necessary in seeking out justice. And then there are other times where there's violence that just seems like it's looking to create fear and intimidation. So as we read Dr. King's letter, it's helpful as we reflect on the difference between constructive disruption and disruptive, creative destruction. So Jesus tells us today that he comes for the people who need him. He talks about who he's come for. Jesus said, "Those who are well have no need for a physician, but those who are sick. I have come to call not the righteous, but the sinners." Jesus is telling us about his view of society and how we should view society and what our purpose is in that society. How to analyze what's going on and think about how we can make a difference. Even if that difference is difficult, even if it creates disruptions, but all in the pursuit of justice.
They say that freedom is a constant struggle. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. They say that freedom is a constant struggle. Oh Lord, we've struggled so long. We must be free. We must be free. They say that freedom is a constant sorrow. They say that freedom is a constant sorrow. They say that freedom is a constant sorrow. Oh Lord, we've sorrowed so long. We must be free. We must be free. They say that freedom is a constant dying. They say that freedom is a constant dying. They say that freedom is a constant dying. plow. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on. Freedom's name is mighty sweet. Soon one day we're gonna meet. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on. We're gonna board that big Greyhound, carrying love from town to town. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on. We've met jail and violence too, but God's love has seen us through. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on. Freedom's name is mighty sweet. Soon one day we're gonna meet. Keep your hand